Welcome to LaJoye Life, the podcast for finding true happiness in every aspect of your life through spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental health. I'm your host, Anthony LaJoye, and thanks for joining us for another episode of exploration into personal success. Welcome to the first episode of LaJoye Life. So I want to take a few minutes to explain the concept of the show, as well as share with you my vision for it. I think it's safe to say that everyone wants to be happy. Now, in modern society, we've grown complex and confusing to the extent that small, minor details seem like a major problem when they happen. The majority of us no longer have to fight for survival, so we focus on unimportant details. The phrase has been coined first world problems, and that would refer to something as simple as, my phone is on 5% battery and I don't have my charger on me. However am I going to do it? That's something that our ancestors or our neighbors half a world away who are indeed still fighting for survival, they would laugh at that situation. But in our modern society, that may be a big issue for some people, right? So I'm not necessarily hating on it, but I am just showing how finding happiness has changed and I guess evolved through time. But that would beg the question, what is true happiness? To an extent, it's relative to each unique person in regards to lifestyle or situation. As far as my inspiration for the show, though, let me tell you a story about a life test that I experienced. So in October of 2017, I was in a place where I was very in tune to physicality. I went to the gym every day. I played football and basketball with my friends weekly, sometimes bi-weekly, and I just felt really good about myself. I was into boxing and mixed martial arts and just everything physical. But then I got an injury, and that injury was to my lower L3 in my back. It was a herniated disc, so completely put me out of commission to the point that I was limping anytime I walked. It hurt to stand or to sit. I was in constant pain. So I was kind of bedridden, and I was going to physical therapy and chiropractors, and I was trying everything. But I was injured, and I couldn't live the life that I wanted to live. My friends would play football, and I couldn't go play with them. My friends would go to the gym, and I couldn't go to the gym. And at this point, I started getting down on myself. I started thinking about and saying things to myself like, oh, you aren't where you want to be with your job. You don't make enough money. You are useless. You can't go to the gym anymore. You're fading away. You're losing all of these things that seem so important to me. And you may be saying to yourself right now, gee, he's talking about the gym a lot. Well, you know what? I've realized now that I really did a lot back then. That was my life. And so the more I thought about this and thought about how, I really got down on myself, feeling like a loser, feeling like a waste of time, feeling like I wasn't where I needed to be. I felt pressure from my family to be better, to have a better job, to do all of these things. And I think looking back now, that was because they saw that I was capable of so much more. But one thing that I did right, I think at this time, was I listened to a lot of podcasts. And in one of those, I heard this thought of spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental health, which is what this podcast now is based on. And that's when I realized how lacking I was in the spiritual, emotional, and mental categories. So I started focusing on each of these, and the changes that I experienced in the course of a year, and not only experienced but also felt in my overall disposition, were almost unbelievable. Spiritually, I became much more close to God. I took an investment in my religion and my faith. Physically, I've now worked back out of that injury. But now that I'm back in the gym, I don't go for big and strong. I go for how I feel. It's not about the looks. It's not about how much you can lift. There's always going to be someone stronger, right? So my physicality has very much changed now. I'm more of a runner. I'm more of a lightweight guy, and I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. And then emotionally, I treat people in a different way now. It used to be this kind of friendly and very nice to folks, but now I truly take an investment in their life, where they want to be, where they want to go, and how I can help them get there. And then mentally, I never used to like to read, but I make myself read more and learn more about the world, about business, about ways that I can improve my own life. So it's helped me in unbelievable ways. So I wanted to share it with others and help those maybe going through a similar situation as me. And thus was born the inspiration for the podcast. Now, I'm not suggesting that you change who you are, because always be yourself. Everyone else is taken, so be you. But just like with phones or anything else, there's always a new generation of things coming out, right? A better version of an old product. So you are a product. Make yourself a better version. That's all I'm asking. Now, I'm just one guy, so the following episodes, I'll showcase guests from all walks of life that have mastered one or all of these categories. So one week I might have on, a personal trainer talking about health and fitness. Another week I might have, an author talking about, reading and the importance of that, or maybe a teacher or a musician or something of that aspect. So hopefully, if you're dealing with something specific, we can speak to that and speak to that specific issue and hopefully help you out. Now, it is a very community-based organization, a very community-based brand. So I have an Instagram and a Facebook. So please head over there. It's at LaJoyeful Life, LaJoyefullife, at LaJoyeful Life on Instagram and Facebook. So please go over there, follow, and share those out to your friends. And hopefully we can kind of help each other out, giving suggestions, giving inspirations. And that's my hope and vision for this podcast, to kind of grow into that. So a place where people can go to get advice, to get helped out for free, right? Friends helping friends is kind of the idea behind this. So maybe someone can learn from your story and become a better person because of you. So please share the pages and let's help each other out. In closing, though, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this very first maiden voyage episode of LaJoyeful Life, and for supporting this endeavor. I believe we were all created for something special, and we can all attain happiness, but it's not enough to talk about it. You must do. You have to work on yourself every day. It's a fight. I'm not going to lie. It was not easy for me to overcome my really depression, but I got there, and you can too. So in the following months, I challenge you to seriously make a commitment to yourself and to be a better version of yourself every day. I promise you won't regret it. So until next week, stay happy, stay humble, and stay LaJoyeful.